It's time to get back to the Dune universe, as Dune Prophecy has finally debuted on Max. The series is set 10,000 years before the events of Dune movies, and the series premiere, The Hidden Hand, shows how different the universe is. Humanity is still recovering from its war against the thinking machines, and many of the established institutions we know are still finding their footing, like the Bene Gesserit, which is currently known as the Sisterhood. The Imperium is also struggling to consolidate its power under House Corino's leadership, as other noble houses plot to extend their influences over the throne. And the shadow of a devastating past war clouds everyone's judgment. Welcome back, everyone. This will be my Dune Prophecy Episode 1 breakdown video. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to get all the videos. Let's get into the video. The Hidden Hand kicks off with a flashback sequence going back 100 years to the final battle of the Butlerian Jihad, marking the end of humanity's war against the thinking machine. Valia Harkam explains in a voiceover that history claims it was an Atreides who led the humanity to victory, while House Harkonnens were granted as cowards and banished to a desolate world as punishment. However, according to Valia, these records are based on lies, so she has set out to change them. Decades later, young Valia joins a sisterhood with her sister Tula on Valak 11. The order has been created by the first Mother Superior, Rakila Beto Andrew, whom Valia considers her true mother, and who trains women to act as truth-sayers to the great houses, helping them discern truth from lies and forming a network of influence across the Imperium through which the sisterhood could govern the future. Thanks to her Harkonnen blood, however, Valia is an outcast, but that changes when, on her deathbed, Mother Rakila asks to see her, warning of the coming of Tiran Alafel, a reckoning for the whole galaxy. They share a vision of a sandworm swallowing the sisterhood headquarters in a desert, amidst Rakila's scream of red dust. The vision ends with a pair of mechanical blue eyes saying something unintelligible. Rakila then pulls Valia closer and tells her that she will be the one to see the burning truth and know. Rakila's death causes a brief schism in the sisterhood, with a Reverend Mother, Dorothea, refusing to bow to Valia and threatening to destroy the genetic matrix they used to record the genes of all the great houses. Valia stops her by using the voice, a new technique she has developed, and orders Dorothea to kill herself. 30 years later, Valia is now Mother Superior of the Sisterhood, and Tula is her most trusted advisor, teaching classes on brain anatomy, martial arts, and truth-saying. The Sisterhood is thriving, with the young girls from all over the galaxy having joined to become truth-sayers, and preparing to welcome among their ranks Princess Nest Corinu, the heir to the Golden Iron Throne. She is now to spend 10 years training with the Sisterhood, and the anticipation of her arrival disturbed the other students' daily lives. Meanwhile, Valia carries on with the Order's affairs, assigning truth-sayers to two houses, while denying House Harkonnen a fourth time. Over the decades, Valia has kept a careful eye on how the great houses behave thanks to her truth-sayers. She has also devised a secret breeding program, instructing the truth-sayers to influence the houses to marry according to it. Right now, her eye is on House Corinu, who ruled the Imperium. Ness is said to soon marry a 9-year-old Privet Riches, thus keeping the Corino line stable for centuries. Before that, however, Ness has 10 years until Privet comes of age and will become part of the sisterhood to ensure that Valia's plan of having a sister on the throne happens. To influence Emperor Javico and Princess Ness, Valia has placed Truthsayer Kasha by their side. In Prophecy, Seleucus Secundus isn't yet the caustic and rainy planet it is by the time of the movies. Instead, it is the House Corino's seat of power, with the Emperor Javico facing a dilemma. The Imperium hasn't been able to pacify the freemen in Arrakis in order to stabilize the spice supply, and needs to form an alliance to strengthen its forces. The solution presents itself in the form of a House Riches, an ambitious and powerful house that wants to marry its heir, a young Privet, to Prince Ness. Empress Natalia disapproves of the wedding, but Javico doesn't see another way to solve his problems and agrees to it. Before the celebration takes place, however, a stranger arrives. Desmond Hart was once a soldier fighting for the Imperium on Arrakis, and mysteriously survived an attack that killed his whole regiment. He arrives at the place and Javiko welcomes him as a respected veteran, even inviting him to attend the engagement party. Desmond tells him the attack he survived wasn't carried out by Freeman, but by the rebel insurgent from the other houses. This surprise even Javiko's soothsayer Kasha, who confirms that Hart believes the story he is telling and that it must have been an isolated incident. Ness is a smart young woman who understands that marrying young private riches will give her 10 years to train as a truthsayer in the sisterhood, and allowing her to effectively control her husband when he comes of age and rule the Imperium without interference. When they first meet at their engagement ceremony, however, Privet proves to be rather the stubborn and not too easily impressed, which surprised Ness. In secret, she also has a relationship with her swords master, Karen Atreides. After Hart's arrival, however, everything changes. Kasha has a strange vision of Ness wearing her red wedding dress and in danger as a sandworm swallows them both. And Ness keeps saying that Kasha did this. Again, the vision ends with a pair of mechanical blue eyes saying something unintelligible. Distraught Kasha decides to visit the sisterhood on Velak 11 to try and beg Velia not to go through with the Ness wedding to private riches. She is welcomed by Velia and Tula, but Velia vehemently refuses to call off the royal wedding, and they suggest Kasha to stay the night with the sisterhood on Velak 11 to remind her of her purpose. Tula then begs Velia to make sure that Ness really is the one the sisterhood should be betting on. The royal engagement happens as planned in Seleucus Secundus, but there is an incident during the reception. Privet accidentally releases his robot pet. Since the Butlerian Jihad, every robot or thinking machine has been banned, and Empress Natalia sees this as a reason to call off the wedding. However, Javiko minimizes the incident, letting Privet off the hook without even a slap on the wrist. Frustrated Ness lashes out Privet and, after the party, goes to a club in the Division neighborhood with her half-brother Constantine, who has no claim to the throne. There, she meets and spends the night with the Karen Atreides after they both partake of space. Back at the palace, Javiko talks to the Desmond Hart and confesses that he feels that marrying Ness to House Riches is wrong. Hart tells him that it should help the Imperium pacify Arrakis, but that there is a larger insurgency going on. According to him, people wonder if the ban on thinking machine was the correct decision and why only the great house profit from spies. Hart also expresses disdain for the sisterhood and tells Javiko that there is something else at play. He should have died in the attack on his division on Arrakis, but was reborn without fear. Javiko, who isn't a believer, says he will believe in anything that frees him from Ness' wedding. Later, he finds a recording of the attack on Arrakis, showing Hart's whole division killed and him kneeling down as Sandworm appears to swallow him. That night, Hart meets a young Privet who can't sleep because of a bad dream. Hart tells the boy about a war that's hidden in a plain sight, fought by an enemy who has made themselves indispensable and does the thinking for everyone. He also says he's been given a great power and says that Privet's sacrifice won't be in vain. Immediately after, the boy starts burning from the inside, painfully killing him and leaving his body completely charred. On Balak 9, the same thing happens to Kasha, who dies screaming as Valia and other sister watch helplessly. Finally, Valia whispers, "I see, mother, I see." Is this the burning truth she was supposed to see? Thanks guys. If you find any reference during the episode that I didn't talk about in this video, please write them down in the comments.